a review and demo on the Maybelline the Nudes palette. And I know this has been out for a while, and I've kind of, when I just dropped the brush, and let me pick it up. And I've been holding off on it because I've been hearing a bunch of mixed reviews. I have a ton of palettes. I didn't know if I was gonna need it or not. I mean, well, let's be honest, I don't need it. So this one comes with 12 shadows. You get a nice mix of mattes and shimmers in here. And it's really pretty. And the way they've set it up is very user-friendly. You know the drill. You can do the quads, you can do trios, or you can do duos. And they're supposed to work that way. And they kind of give you that mapped out, mapped out plan on the back there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of jump into the demo. I did a really simple eye look with it, this one right here today, which I really do like, but I'm going to jump to the demo and then we'll do some swatches and talk about the actual palette afterwards. So we will see you after the demo.
Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started just with this matte highlight shade in a flat shader brush, and we're just going to put this kind of all over the lid, focusing it underneath the brow bone, and this is just going to help the other shadows blend out and act as our highlight. Now we're going to go in with this kind of taupey gray color and a fluffy brush, and we're going to create our transition. I'm just using a Sonia Kashuk brush. I'm going in with that deeper brownish gray and a BR250 from Coastal Scents and deepening up my crease. I'm just using the point of the brush, and I'm really just kind of blending this out softly. And then with a fluffy brush with no more product on it, I'm just going to go back and blend it out. Now using this really pretty kind of silvery light, almost grayish color, we're going to just use that same flat shader brush and just place this all over the lid. And it's going to be our lid color. It's actually really beautiful, even as subtle as it is in the look. And now with just a precision eye brush and that deep kind of grayish brown and that more kind of softer metallic-y brown, we are going to go ahead and just smoke out the lower lash line. I'm a big dummy and was out of frame for the entire time I did this, so sorry. And just going in with any liner, I'm just using my Urban Decay Perversion liner, the liquid one. I'm just creating a very small wing and a thin line. I don't want to cover up the look. I want this to be a very soft, subtle look. Once we've got that on, I'm just going to go in with my CoverGirl Full Lash Bloom Mascara. I like this mascara when I'm doing false lashes. I just think it works. It's one of those mascaras that just works for that purpose. And then I'm going to throw on some falsies, and that is the look. Pretty simple. Don't mind the wet lash glue. Sorry.
Alright, so that was just a really quick, simple eye look that I used or created using this palette. So first off, let's talk about the application. The application, one of the things I heard first about this palette is that the shadows were extremely hard to blend. I do not find that to be the case. I've used this several times. I don't have a problem blending the shadows out. I do use a primer just like I do with any other eyeshadow I use, high-end drugstore, whatever. So as far as blendability goes, I don't find that they are difficult to blend. I find that the looks that I create, they don't get muddy. The shadows stay where I put them, and they wear pretty well throughout the day. Again, I have my eyelids can get oily, but that is usually about 14, 15, 16 hours into a day. So I have relatively normal to dry eyelids. So as far as wear time goes, I really like them. Blendability, do not have a problem with them. And I enjoy the looks. As far as the shadows go, let's talk about the pigmentation. So these are the swatches. Again, you get some really pretty metallics in there. You get some nice mattes. I do find that the mattes are not extremely pigmented for a drugstore eyeshadow palette. Unless I'm dealing with Wet n Wild, that tends to not surprise me. I expect the mattes to be a little bit harder to build up and a little bit less pigmented. I find that some of these metallic shades in here are really, really pretty. They might swatch a little bit more intense than they come across on the eye. But overall, for $10, this is not a bad eyeshadow palette. You get some beautiful, beautiful colors. Again, they're giving you some warm tones, some cool tones. highlight shades, mid-tone shades, deep dark shades. So the conception of this palette, I think, is wonderful. Do I think the pigmentation or the quality is enough to blow your socks off? No. Do I enjoy using this palette? Yes. I have been reaching for this palette when I want to create an easy, simple, low maintenance look where I don't want to have to go into a bunch of different palettes or bring out some single eyeshadows, because everything I have, everything I need is in here. Again, I like the looks that I create with this palette. I think they're very beautiful, soft, subtle, and I have nothing bad to say about this palette. Then again, I don't think this is a must-have, go out and buy. Do I regret buying this palette? Absolutely not. Will I use it? Yes. I think this is going to be a great travel palette for me because I won't really worry about it getting broken. First of all, it's pretty sturdy, and second of all, if it does get broken, it's only $10. So, it's definitely a plus, a win-win as far as that goes. This is one of those palettes that's really weird for me. It's when I use it, I don't get excited by using this palette, but then once I see the look, I'm like, that's really, really pretty. And the more I look at it, the more I like it. So yeah, it's kind of this palette is one of those palettes that you can kind of, take or leave. It just totally depends on you. I don't think it's a must-have. But if you are a collector, if you like trying out different makeup, if you like neutral eyeshadow palettes and you're looking for something simple, sometimes with palettes that are extremely pigmented, it can be more work to create a look than with a palette that might not be so intensely pigmented, because you have to blend out. You have to, this is one of those palettes where you can just throw a look together and it looks pretty and it looks the way you want it to look, without having to be too careful. So I do like that about this palette. I think this palette would be great if you are a beginner. I think this palette would be great if you just want some low maintenance, easy looks that are going to, and some shadows that are going to allow you to create a variety of looks. I think this would also be a really good palette if you're buying makeup for a young girl who's just starting out, because even the darkest shades, even this deep dark brown and black, yes, they are dark, but they're easily blended out. So they're not so intensely pigmented that you're going to be worrying about your teenage daughter going outside looking like she has a black eye. So I kind of rambled about this. So yes, I do like this palette. I think it really got a bad rap as far as I'm concerned. I mean, let's be honest, if you're buying a palette for $10, you can't, you can, but you maybe shouldn't necessarily expect the kind of pigmentation or buttery creaminess that you're going to get from a Lorac or a Urban Decay palette or a Too Faced palette. So do I think Maybelline did a really good job with this palette? Yes, I think it was well thought out. I think the concept is fantastic. I like that they took the time to explain how to use the shadows on the back, because it can be overwhelming if you are not an eyeshadow aficionado like a lot of us are here on YouTube, and we just love it. We know, we look at a palette, we know what we're gonna do. And I think this is just a wonderful travel palette. I think this is a wonderful beginner's palette, and I think this is a wonderful palette for those people who are a little bit more low maintenance. If you are somebody who expects extreme butteriness, pigmentation, creaminess from an eyeshadow, you might want to skip this. But I really like this palette. I guess I don't understand all the negativity that was put out when it first came out, because like I said, I like the look it created. I think it creates beautiful, simple looks. I think it's easy to blend, and I think it stays where I put it. So, that's about all I'm looking for from a drugstore palette. So overall, I'd say yes, this is a great palette. If you were kind of on the fence about it, go out and try it, because I was pleasantly surprised. So I hope this demo and review / ramble was helpful for you. Guys, I'm just sitting here talking. But as as always, you know, let me know what your thoughts are on this palette. Have you tried the smokes? Have you tried the brights? Let me know what you think about it. You know, do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Yeah, let's talk about it. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you did, like, subscribe, but we will see you next time. Bye, guys.